Hey guys, welcome to a live episode of Talking Knox. If you're on Facebook, I know I'm streaming to Facebook, but the chat system, is not moving the Facebook chat messages, so I can't see it in the little window down there. So you can join me. I'm on YouTube, Twitch, whatever have you. We're talking to Knox. New episode of the Andrew Anderson Show was just released. Uh, Me and Trey talk about some stuff. If you missed the last sort of live video I did an unboxing of "Help a Stranger" by the Raconteurs. Such a good album. It's great. Um, so anyway, yeah. Welcome to the stream. I'm gonna go ahead and pull it up on Facebook so that I can see. It's probably gonna slow me down, just so that I can see the live chat and stuff. Because currently it says I'm live. There it is. Oh no, I don't want to continue using Facebook and watching. I want to. There we go. Kill it. Yeah, I'm a boomer. Trying to figure this out. Hey Ron, how are you? They're working on the Facebook chat, so I don't necessarily see everything related to it. Me and Ron talked earlier today about our project, the Knox, and everything like that. We are currently working on doing certain things a certain way, and we want you guys to know we've got the guitar picks, friends and family. I'm pricing lapel pins and patches and stuff. We are definitely going to do another campaign towards the end of August. Look for that. We're going to be doing. We need to build up our presence though, so that's what we're doing. That's kind of what tonight's about. Like I said, unfortunately, if you're on Facebook, I can't see your chats. I'll be checking back in if you want to, leave a message or something for us. We're here to talk about comics, I guess. So what kind of comics are you guys reading? I don't know who's watching. There's not a whole lot of interaction in the chat right now. But one of the things that Trey and I like to do is we like to go to the flea market and buy up old back issues and stuff. So that's a lot of fun, going out and buying the back issues, particularly of old, the old like Chuck Dixon '90s stuff. I personally like the old '90s Superman stuff. I know Ron worked on a lot of that stuff back in the day, and so there's a lot of stuff that's going on in the background. Like I said, I'm a writer, so I can't like draw on stream like Ethan Van Sciver or anybody else, and it's hard to fill the time to talk and all that when people aren't there. So I want to talk. I like to talk about music, and eventually, once we get the sound problem fixed, that'll be on the next paycheck. We'll be doing some stuff. I'll have some cool footage on the YouTube of some upcoming stuff that we're gonna do. It just looks like we're gonna have a lot of fun going on here, and I like doing this. I like talking to you guys. So much fun with you guys. I have a lot of cool things in the works with Ron. Currently working on a novel. Not ready to share the title of it yet. It's a detective novel. It's a really cool concept. And all around, it's a great thing. So I think Ron and I feel we're headed in the right direction. And I'm going to be honest, I was a little disappointed when we didn't get full funding on the Knox. Andrew Anderson should I be here on Facebook? Ron, you should be on YouTube because I can read the comments on YouTube with the restream chat. So it doesn't matter where you're watching, guys. We have 3 people watching us right now. You know what, Ron? Let me send you a link. Let's see if we can try the Hangout. Hangouts. Do. Join me if you're ready, Ron. Let me know. Let me know, and let's take a look. So, Ron, Trey and I have an ambitious plan. For those of you who don't know, Trey's the guy I do the Andrew Anderson show with. We're going to talk about movies and other stuff that interests us on the show. I think that's really great. And I'm going to do some more comic-themed stuff, show off some of the models I built and stuff like that on stream and stuff. Waiting on Ron. Where is Ron? He's got the link. 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 So how's everybody else doing tonight? Let's see. Oh, here we go. Okay. Unavailable. That's disappointing. No one has joined in your video call. Ron! Uh-oh. Why is it doing that? No. So we're just waiting for Ron to get the link. He's more of a boomer. I'm more of a boomer than he is, and he's older than me. You know, if I could be a Luddite, I'd be a Luddite, sort of thing. Having a boomer moment. Yes, we are, Ron. Me too. So let me show you something cool. This is my Striker Eureka hat. I am a huge fan of Pacific Rim. Boom, right there. These are my Whataburger shades. Yeah, Whataburger shades. So I'm heading over there now, having a boomer moment. Well, he's in there. Ron, are you in your Ron McCain profile or... Do. Waiting for Ron. Waiting for Ron. Says it's a bad link. That's the same link we've always had. Safari. Oh, it's Google. No name. Okay. New conversation. Oh, Ron, we're not friends. Anyway, done. Add people. Copy link to share. Alright. Safari. Boom, try that one. Hey, did it work? Did it work? Hello?
Hey, did it work? I imagine so. I'm here.
Okay. Okay, let me do this. Boom, boom, boom. What we need, video capture device. Oh no, it's already using that because that's mine. I need a window capture.
I imagine so. I'm here.
Oh, there's an echo on your side.
Okay, hold on. Oh, no, it's already using that because that's mine.
Oh,
I need to capture. Oh, there's an echo on your side. Hold on. It's already using that because that's mine. I need to capture. Oh, there's an echo on your side. Hold on. All right. How's that?
much better. Oh, it's still feeding back.
Okay, hold on. Let me.
Hold on. Let me try something else. Hangouts. Okay, hold on. Hold on. Hangout. What is it? Yeah, the what? Oh, okay. Oh, that's better.
All right, how's that?
Much better. I think that'll work.
All right.
So.
Okay. Now.
Oh, that's much better.
Howdy, boys and girls.
Hey, Ron.
Well, hello there, sir.
Are you ready to talk the Knox?
I am ready.
Well, I mean, besides inking the pages and you about to do some tutorials on your upcoming YouTube page,
Yeah.
what's going on?
Well, that's been pretty time consuming. I'm for the most part, it's I'm trying to generate a presence, trying to figure out where to target my energies so far as, who's going to be interested in seeing what I got to say.
Yeah. Hold on real fast. I want to check something to make sure our audio is going through.
I think we still got some feedback loop there.
There's a little bit on it, but hold on. I want to make sure. You're not watching on Facebook still, are you?
No.
Alright, hold on. Let me. there's a delay on it.
Yeah.
Hey, Ron, can you speak?
What do you need?
Okay, yeah, no, we're good. We're good. I can
Okay.
hear you now. I think I fixed the problem.
Okay. I'm still hearing it, but it's so minimal.
Yeah, it's gonna be on your end when you hear it because I'm using the speakers on the computer to route your audio through the mic so that people can hear it.
I see.
Because if I do it with my headphones on, they're not gonna be able to hear it.
Right.
So my co-host Trey on the Andrew Anderson show, he flipped out a little bit when he found out that I talked to you quite a bit.
Well, where is this amazing Trey?
Trey's in his house right now. He lives across town.
Oh.
So.
Any chance he's available?
Not for stream. He works a day job doing some stuff. So, Wednesday and Thursday we record an episode or two. Usually we try to record 2 and have one in the bank, but we're caught up for now. As far as like doing it, so we're taking an off break next week. But we've talked about it. We're going to be a little more aggressive in our online presence and streaming and stuff.
Yeah.
So.
Yep, I think pretty much, like I said, it's one of the mistakes we made earlier was that we went into the crowdfunding aspect without a fan base, really. We had people that we knew, but we didn't really have. We weren't in the consciousness of the people who were really going to be able to support this book.
Yeah.
And not being out there and having people talk about it. It's like once we end this stream and go back to doing what we were doing, are people going to be talking about us? Are people going to be talking about, oh wow, I can't wait until this comes out. Oh, this is really cool. Hey, I remember seeing Ron's work on this, and this, or whatever. Are people talking about what we're doing, what we've done in the past, and what we're doing now? And I think that's where my head is at now. Is realistically trying to create a buzz about what we're doing.
Oh yeah, absolutely. I 100% agree. By the way, join our Facebook group, the Perfect Storm Comics. Ron's been posting videos there. Which, by the way, Ron, shoot me some of those videos later through a link, and I'll upload them on my stuff too, just so that we can have better awareness and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So one of the things you and I talked about before we hung up the last time, and we talked about it in private a little bit, but let's talk about this. Conan has joined the modern Marvel Comics universe.
Have you been following that?
A little bit, and I looked a little bit further into what you told me, and it turns out when they had the rights to Conan in the 80s, they did something similar.
In kind of a what if scenario?
Yes.
Yeah.
And there were a few mainstream books where Wolverine actually went to the past.
Yeah.
So.
And I think there's a handful of characters you can do that with. But being a longtime Conan fan,
mm-hmm.
Conan to me is the special thing. If you surround him with a whole bunch of other special characters, then he's kind of either you have to falsely prop him up as being the super alpha. I mean, you stick him next to Iron Man. Iron Man's just going to flick his wrist and incinerate him.
Mm-hmm.
You put him up against some of the bad guys that like the Avengers would fight on a regular basis, and Conan would not stand a chance. He's a brawny guy, crafty guy with a sword or an axe and some chainmail, but he's not, a freaking Avenger, you know. he has his own thing. He's the indomitable spirit. The savagery that comes along with all of that. But an Avenger, no. Avenger is a team sport, and anytime you take somebody out of their element, for just for the sake of seeing how long you can do it before people get tired of it, you start running into problems.
Oh yeah, for sure. You know what? Let me plug mine in and let me see if that'll kill the feedback on your side.
Just start yanking wires.
Yeah.
Start yanking wires and see what happens.
Do audio input. Oh. Okay, well, it's going through Hangouts. So, okay. So let me change my mic in Hangouts. Settings. Blue.
So you're running a set of virtual mics?
I am right now.
Okay.
That's basically what I told you we had to do. So, hey, did that kill it?
Yeah.
Okay, let me go check. Because I don't know if I messed with it again.
Oh, wait a second.
I think if you plug some headphones in on your side, it might.
Oh, let me see here. Boy, I have a set of headphones. Actually, I don't think I have a set of headphones here. Let me check. Oh, I'm trying to think of where they would be.
Never mind. We're good. We're good, Ron.
We're good?
We're
Okay.
good. The audio's still going. So I figured out how to do it without having to spend $100.
Nice. So yeah, I mean, I just like to leave Conan in his element. Let him get the girl at the end of every comic, and the way I used to summarize most of the pastiche novels was, and the tower blew into shards, and Conan ran off into the sunset with a pretty girl.
Yeah.
And that's.
Well, weren't they all pretty back then to begin with? I mean, they pretty much just ran and ate.
He never grabbed the ugly chick.
Yeah.
Well, he did a couple of times, but they all turned out to be witches.
Yeah.
And swamp demons and stuff like that. But he regretted that in the morning. But yeah, I think Conan in his element. I think with every character who's bound in time, you're going to run out of long story arcs that eventually start to all look alike.
Yeah.
And that's the danger for every character. I mean, how many times?
Well, that's why. That's why Robert Kirkman ended Invincible when he did. I mean, he could have written it forever, and then handed it off to someone else. And then he was like, "No, I've pretty much told every story I want to tell." Ryan wants to go on and do other things, and Ryan went on to do Spider-Man with Nick Spencer, which apparently is like one of the greatest Spider-Man runs ever done, since like the early thousands.
Right.
I don't want to say it's the best Spider-Man run ever, but apparently Nick Spencer can write.
I think there's something to be said for like you've probably got a Conan story in you that nobody else has ever seen. I've probably got one in me. There's a lot of guys who spent years writing Conan.
Well, I've written a Conan type with Gears and Bones.
Yeah. See.
So, you want to know something funny about that too? Robert E. Howard, he's from Plainview, Texas, I think. That's where he wrote it. But he grew up in the small town that I was living in at the time that I was writing Gears and Bones at. just south of San Antonio. Like that's where he spent his childhood. So that's
Cool.
weird. That was a little weird that I was writing a Conan type character at that place. So
Well, imagine the story you would have come up with had you lived there 90 years ago.
oh yeah.
You know. Have you seen the movie The Whole Wide World?
No, I haven't.
Okay. Vincent D'Onofrio plays Robert E. Howard.
Really?
Yeah, and it's a story. I want to say that the movie takes place between 1932 and 1936, like the last 4 years of his life. Not sure about that, but that's about right. And he meets and associates with a young woman named Novelyn Price, who later would be Novelyn Price Ellis, and she was a up and coming author herself, and they butted heads. They had. I'm not sure how romantic the relationship was. It seemed pretty platonic in the portrayal in the movie, at least. Mm-hmm. But there's a couple of monologues that Vincent D'Onofrio delivers that are just remarkably powerful in that movie, where he's talking about the difference between civilization and the natural man, the natural uncivilized man, and how he perceives things, and how civilization really kind of makes us dull. And you almost brought to tears by his portrayal of Robert E. Howard, especially if you've been reading his material for years.
Yeah.
And it's just a great thing to see. And then you take a look at how Hollywood and television have taken his characters and just done a disservice to how those characters are treated. Yeah, it's kind of sad, because he really was a good writer.
Yeah. Absolutely. Yeah, I mean, there's definitely some interesting things and stuff in there that definitely has happened over the years. John Milius did that first Conan movie.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and I really wanted to see Crown of Iron made, but nobody would get behind it.
Yeah.
And now I guess there's some interest, and I don't know if there's any confirmation to this. I saw a thing where Arnold was really excited about the new comic that was coming out, and how he was gung-ho to do another film. And I'm like, and apparently he's been in the gym like hardcore for the last 6-8 months, packing on some meat.
Yeah.
And from what I heard, he's looking really good. So I don't know if there's any truth to the fact that we're going to see like an old King Conan, like somewhere in the neighborhood of Conan of the Isles, his last big adventure, or something like that. That would be really cool.
Yeah, definitely, for sure. But I mean, it's one of those things where yeah, he's got to do it eventually. I think it could be cool.
I'd like to see it.
He's in the new Terminator.
I just want to get well done, because I need something to wash the memory of the 2011 Conan movie out of my head. That thing's garbage. I'm sorry to say.
It wasn't that bad. It wasn't a great Conan movie, but it wasn't a terrible movie either.
Considering who all was involved in that thing,
been a lot worse.
There was a lot. One, there was a lot of star power.
Yeah.
There was, a halfway decent director, a lot of money. They, even the villain. It wasn't like a no-name actor who was playing the villain. I mean, we had, somebody who was in consideration for. He just came off of Avatar, for crying out loud.
Yeah.
And I really think that, you know, if you're going to do something like that, if you're going to take me back to 10,000 BC, take me back to 10,000 BC. You know, you would think it would be kind of easy. You know, just leave all the technology at home and go film out in the desert. That's what they did in 1982.
Yeah. Black Science is coming to an end. After
How much more is left on that?
only a couple more issues, and then they'll do the final hard copy, which I'll buy.
Mhm.
And then his other book, Deadly Science, the TV series, got canceled by Sci-Fi. Yeah, I know.
That's a shame.
Ever since Atlantis, when they started cutting crap, Sci-Fi's gone down the hole.
You
We've
know,
had, what, maybe 2 or 3 good shows since Atlantis and Eureka ended?
yeah.
And they cancel the good ones and leave the crappy ones on the air?
Yeah. I mean, you know, sci-fi is where I go when I have no new or decent material to actually watch, and I just need noise in the background. I'll put on a, you know, crappy sci-fi movie. And again, you know, you would think, work within your budget. Don't give me a 3D monster that looks all shiny and stuff like that. It's
Don't even show me the monster.
or yeah, they show the monster.
Just show people getting eaten and taken off screen. That's all you need to do.
Yeah, like what was the last one they made? Piranaconda or something like that. I mean, Jiminy, you know, they just set a couple of guys in a room, lock them in there, have them write a decent story, and then spend the rest of your money making the effects.
I mean, they're no Chuck Dixon.
Yeah, no, we need. You know, it'd be a sad day when Chuck goes to Hollywood because
he's already gone.
Well,
Slice
yeah,
producing Levant Cave, man.
If he goes and stays, comics is going to suffer.
I mean, they're already suffering to begin with.
Well, yeah, they're going to suffer regardless.
So, but him and Mike Baron got picked up by new publishers for their novels.
I heard.
And Baron's novel, they're getting re-released under Baron's under the biker. He sent me a few, and they're fantastic. By the way, he made up with me, so we're cool. Yeah.
Yeah.
I was a little worried about that for a little bit. You know that I tried helping him get a book published, and it just kind of fell through. And it's a shame because Brian Shear's Willie and the Last fantastic book is the last book that Guardian Knights will probably ever put out. So it's a total shame on that front. But you know, hey, we got the Knox. We're building something big with that. Willie and the Last by my buddy Brian is fantastic, and the book Cue Ball that we were going to put out with Mike Baron was going to be fantastic too.
Yeah.
I mean, it's just.
Well, you know, it's kind of funny with Brian Shearer.
Mm-hmm.
I had seen William the Last, but I didn't make the association. To what he's doing now.
Yeah.
And I'm like, oh, I really enjoyed William the Last.
William the Last outsold, I think, My Hero Macadamia, the first one.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. And I think GI, Bunny GI, which, by the way, I've got all those books. I'm waiting on Wall Might 2, My Hero Macadamia 2.
Uh-huh.
I did that Indiegogo. So I'm waiting on that to come in. Cool. I want to talk to Brett Smith about some stuff, too. But Brian's great. He's up to 6,000 now on his YouTube. And you know what he did?
What?
Just showed people how to draw stuff.
Oh, gosh, imagine that.
But on top of that, he had like 3 successful Kickstarters before he started doing, because he's big in the G.I. Joe and Transformers stuff, too.
Mm-hmm.
He's worked with Larry Hama quite a bit. And so is Chuck. Chuck's worked with Larry quite a bit, too.
Yeah, their association goes back to a lot of the stuff over at Marvel.
Yeah.
Um, the the thing that Brian's doing, it's kind of weird. Um, I I've been looking. Oh, periodically I go through these phases where I'll try to find other artists
Mhm.
who are utilizing YouTube to just draw, show people how to draw. This is how you do this, or you can come into my studio and watch me ink, or I've got sketch card commissions, and I'm gonna let you guys watch me while I bang out this sketch card for somebody or whatever.
I'm
There's
telling you,
really
just do that.
not, huh?
I'm telling you, just do it, man.
Yeah.
And then just do all the talking on my channel.
but here's the funny thing: there's not a lot of us out there doing this.
Yeah.
Like I
okay.
I just discovered Brian's channel.
Yeah. So Brian's the one actually out there doing the art on the channel. I mean, EVS every once in a while, Mike Miller will, but they'll do silent stuff and stuff like that. Brian interacts and shows you what he's doing and stuff like that, and then he does his thing. So I'm thinking, Ron, just stream do the art lessons on your thing, and then send people over to our channel, the channel here, and it's just one big thing for us. But we'll talk about that later.
Right.
But yeah, I think that'd be cool if you did art lessons like this is how you draw Spider-Man, or this is how you draw the Shadow, or this is how you draw Garfield.
Right. Well, I'd have to have somebody show me how to draw Garfield. But it's kind of one of those things where it's like I would think that in the visual arts community that we would take advantage of an outlet that is completely visual, like YouTube or BitChute or whatever, and jump on that and say, hey. Now, I don't know if it's a camera shy thing. I don't know if it's a technological hurdle, or people just want to have the total privacy when they're working. But I would think that if you're trying to generate an audience, especially now that there's so many independent creators out there, that you would not jump on something that gets your message out there in a permanent sort of way to an entire bunch of hungry wannabe artists who are out there looking for exactly an invitation into your studio. I don't get it. Yeah. There's not a whole lot of us out there, and I think there should be. I would love to see, more guys doing exactly what Brian's doing, or I think his name is Todd Knox. He's doing great stuff. All of these other guys.
Well, why not be one of those guys?
Huh?
Why not be one of those guys?
Well, yeah, no, that's the idea. I'm gonna put exactly my money where my mouth is, and do exactly that. And I've kind of started that by doing short little clips on Facebook and Twitter and Instagram, stuff like that, and people are digging it. So the next.
Don't forget to put a link in your description when you do the videos, because you can have a template. Don't forget to put a link in for our newsletter.
Right.
It's going to morph from a Knox newsletter into a Perfect Storm letter.
Right.
So.
Yeah, totally. And tie everything into the perfect stage, and
yep.
The tools today. I roll back the clock and I think about what 19 years ago. I was part of a 3-man design team, and we had our own little design studio in downtown Seattle. And one of the projects we were thinking of was, how exactly do we do like instructional videos? How do we do, things like this? And the amount of money and equipment and all that crap, because cell phones had barely emerged, and nothing with a camera to speak of. you would spend at least $1,000 getting a video camera. There was no accessible way to record what was going on in a person's studio. And these things were like you'd have to hire some guy to come in and set up his tripod and his video camera, and then he'd take it back and do a dump down to an old, Mac 2 CI, and that would take 7 years to, edit that and then produce it, and then you got 5 minutes of content. Now you've got access to all of that in your pocket. Your cell phone is probably one of the more powerful media tools that every person on this, in this country who, has $50 can go out and get.
Mm-hmm.
And you have all the capability of that guy who had the video camera and the tripod and the lighting setup and the green screen and all that stuff 20 years ago. So now we can do it, and it doesn't cost anything. We have wonderful outlets. It's like YouTube and, like I said, BitChute and Vimeo and all of that stuff. So, and even Facebook Live or, any other aspect of social media that we can put it on and reach tens of thousands of people, get it out there.
Yeah, absolutely. It's one of those things. It just blows my mind. And Trey and I were talking about this on the podcast today, which, by the way, is out. Link below if you're watching on YouTube or if you're watching on anything else. The Andrew Anderson Show. We're on everything. You can find us on iTunes, Spotify, whatever your favorite podcast provider is. It's there. And this stream will probably be uploaded there to the audio eventually. So don't forget to join the Perfect Storm Comics group on Facebook.
Yes, do that.
Do that, because we need people there.
Yes.
All right, well, I think we're going to wrap this stream up. So, Ron, we'll continue on after, I guess. But thank you so much for tuning in, guys. I appreciate it.